Today is a special podcast. One that will be remembered around the world, echoing down the ivory halls, across waves and across nations. Today is a sad day. Actually, it was a couple of days ago. We lost a fallen soldier. His name was Subscriber. A moment of silence, please. I said a moment of silence, please. But then it was a new day. We got 2 more subscribers to replace him. So, you all right, babe? That was off the cuff. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I think Lauren enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, it was like a week ago. Usually throughout the week, I'm texting Lauren like, oh, we're at 81. We're at 82, 83. We get up to 89, and the anticipation is just mounting.
Right, because breaking 90 is like, it's pretty huge.
Yeah. The next milestone is 100. So, that was a weird I
was like, huh. It was more like a but then it was like, yeah. So I just kind of added them all in together.
So, we're one away. And I'm checking my phone way more than someone should about getting 1 subscriber to eclipse 90. Next thing you know, I look, we're at 88.
How defeated were you in that moment?
It was actually pretty defeating.
Wait, were you going to cry?
My first thought is, in our last episode, we called out Ann Young.
Right.
And then later in the episode, we made some type of joke of like, oh, great, Ann Young's going to unsubscribe.
Did you think it was her? You went and looked, right?
What if it was her?
Like, not Ann. Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Ann Young, I'm hoping you just took a week off, as did we. Ann Young, 80. Oh no, I forgot. 85, 95, 85. Well, anyways, hopefully you were the one that did not unsubscribe. But for the 2 that just subscribed for us, one of them, which I do know, and I'm going to call him out right now.
Do you really?
Yes. He was a coworker of mine.
Nice.
It's starting to get a little weird.
Why?
People are starting to actually just without me prompting them, mention, hey, I saw you have a podcast.
Well, that's not weird. That's great.
Yeah. It's just different,
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
So
I don't see you guys every day, but
yeah, let's get you out more.
Yeah, they're your coworkers, is what.
Let's get you out amongst the unwashed masses. So, John, if you're listening, and I hope you are, thank you for subscribing. And then for the other person that bumped us back up to 90.
Yeah. Hey,
thank you so much. We appreciate that. We're on the road to 100.
It does mean a lot. It does.
Yeah, it does. It's actually weird. Imagine 90 people in a room.
I know. Like when you line them all up, it's like
up against the wall.
Right. It's like
watch this podcast.
Right. So
imagine 90 people in this room.
That'd be crazy.
Well, actually, since our room is huge, it wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, it actually a little club.
Well, anyways, so those were some lows of the week,
yeah.
But then highs.
Yes.
But I have a new segment. I don't have a jingle. Maybe I should. But I'm going to call this the highs, the lows, and the Home Depot.
And the Home Depot.
A little pun.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was a fun time. But we moved into this house. I'm trying to remember all to recall that we have
done
mentioned on the podcast.
I think just moving.
Okay.
And then the leak in the
so
and the door locked.
Ember, oh man. The more we think about it, the more
actually
issues
let's not get upset again.
I'm starting to sweat. So we've had many issues. Many of them are self-inflicted.
I think we did mention the washer and dryer being delivered.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
But it does not end there. No.
Because why would it?
Why, oh why? Tell me why, oh why? It doesn't end there when you're a homeowner. Maybe if you're a renter, it's just prompt. It's on time. It actually was.
Have you noticed that? Like when you're renting, everything's pretty easy.
Nothing goes wrong.
Right. But when you own, everything goes wrong.
Everything. Door handles are just, you're pulling knobs off into your hand. Not quite like that. We have, fingers crossed, knocking on wood. Don't want to hit that too bad. Right. So anyways, if you haven't listened to the past episodes, so we got a washer and dryer. It was delivered by Lowe's. And I would like to say I'm not going to use Lowe's ever again, but I'm looking at a mini fridge beverage machine that...
Oh, is that from Lowe's?
That's from Lowe's. So
you dirty dog.
I already went back on my word. You already
went back. You swore you would never go back.
I had it in all black. And I had to go back. There's a joke in there somewhere.
It's somewhere, but I'm going to keep moving for the sensitive ones. But you told me you wouldn't go back. What's up with that?
Maybe I will not get anything installed by Lowe's again, and I'm standing on that.
Well, look at that.
So we ordered washers and dryer, a washer and a dryer, and they arrive. They're plugging them in. You know, we have our issues with language barriers.
Yes.
By golly, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
We're happy for you. But bring me some washers and dryers that aren't busted and broken.
True.
Brand new out the box. Well, it looked like they kicked them on their way here.
Yes.
So, I said, hey, take them back. Bring me some new ones. They said, we're not going to take them back. They're going to just sit in your closet for 2 weeks.
I was going to ask you, is that normal?
I don't feel like it is.
Like for them to say, just leave it. We'll come back.
I almost feel like it was like maybe they'll just cave and be like, we'll just keep them.
Because the only company I've ever seen do that, they'll bring something and then they're like, can we come back later to get it? Mm-hmm. Is like when you get those jumpers or moon bounces.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's part of the service.
No, like if you only pay for the day, sometimes they're like, can we come back on Monday? Right. Just keep it there.
Yeah.
That's the
They're probably hoping that you'll accidentally break it.
Oh, they can't wait.
Yeah. I thought you were saying like, yeah. I'm with you now.
Okay, you there? Okay.
I'm with you. So washer and dryer number 1 and 2 are sitting in our house for about 3 weeks.
Insane. Insane.
Take over.
I had to travel back to do laundry at the other place, and that is not close. So that alone, 3 weeks, when I'm supposed to have it now, is crazy.
Yeah. And so for about 3 weeks, we were just living out of boxes and traveling across a country mile to do our washer and dryer. That's kind of how it was in the olden days, I guess. I had to go all the way down to the creek just to wash my clothes.
Down to the watering hole.
Say no. So it's been about we took a week.
I know where you're going.
Yes, and I'm fine with it. So we took a week off, right? We have had so much going on in our lives.
Yes.
Typically, we're well prepared. We're ready for this.
Well prepared. Yes.
We are going to do a Knights at the Round Table talk and figure out game plan and goals and planning out this podcast.
Yes, we do apologize for missing a week. A lot came up.
Maybe that's why we lost one.
Yeah,
there's a correlation.
Listen, if I get it, there's a lot of people on YouTube that I just love to watch, and if they skip a week, I'd be
high expectations already.
I'd be a little irritated.
Well, anyways, between then, our last episode we talked about our top 5 favorite TV shows, and I absolutely love old TV shows, black and white, the trinklings of first color shows.
Right.
Love them. I grew up on them, and I still, I love them.
And I hate them.
Well, we started. I don't know how it started, but in the episode, I think you started talking about like, well, I don't like shows where they're talking like this. I'm gonna go down to the parlor and give me a couple of ice pops and a soda pop.
A couple of milkshakes going down to.
Why don't you go down the alley and holler fish? Why don't you? Well, between that episode and now, we have spoken like that.
We can't stop.
We can't stop.
It's becoming a problem.
Can't stop, won't stop.
In public, we're giving it a go. Yes.
So
we're in Home Depot and you're like talking to me like
I was ordering my McDonald's like that. Hey, sir, give me a couple of McDoubles.
Let me get a fry.
And make it on the double.
Let me get a fry. Hold the salt.
Anyways,
What is?
so for about 2 weeks, we have just nonstop like, good night, honey. I'll see you in the morning. Let me blow out my candle and go to bed. So we've just been having fun with that, man. Well, anyways.
Were you offended when I first did that? Slightly.
Not offended, but I was like, it's not like that.
Yes.
There's some old movies that are like that.
Can you believe people used to actually talk like that?
That is one thing that we have been talking about.
Uh-huh.
And I can't believe the way some people are talking now. So yeah, I guess it goes for back then too.
Yeah.
But they just, I guess, naturally had this. It was like they were speaking through it in an old radio almost.
Maybe that was just like a sign of class at the time. If you're overly talking and giving it a go, I don't know. How did the women speak? I feel like that was the men.
I feel like the women were like the two, like the Wizard of the thing of the Wizard of Oz, how she's kind of speaking. Or but the problem
really
is you don't watch enough of the show.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta,
if I watch enough, I can clock it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was so like dramatic. I feel like with the women, I feel like it was very. Oh, Toto.
Yeah.
It's like, you good?
That was good.
Just I'm gonna go to the store. Do you want something, honey?
Yeah. Dear. When you're at work,
right?
I don't know,
right? Oh, the laundry's just piling up on me.
So, yeah, we've been speaking to each other in different languages almost to the point where it's fun, but it's also maybe slightly concerning.
I think it's concerning because it has bled into public, and we're not aware. Well, I was only aware for a split second. And I was like, wow, we just did that in front of people.
Maybe we just need to luck out and like go to Sonic, Steak and Shake, In-N-Out, Freddy's, where it kind of maybe fits the tone, and they're like, oh, like they're kind of just like they're leaning into our atmosphere here.
Even then, they're probably like, "This who are we?" Yeah, we would have to find like some late night. What are those places called?
Drive-ins.
No. Those places, diners.
Oh,
you love diners.
Yeah. There was a TV show. Man, we are just spiraling out of control here. There was a TV show with Guy Fieri? Ferrari. Fiero? Got the guy with the blonde hair.
Guy Fieri? I know who you're talking about.
And it was called Diners, Diet, Dine-Ins and Dives. Mm-hmm. What's a dive? A dive bar.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Do we know?
It's like a type of bar.
I figured. Maybe they're just diving in over there. Maybe it's like a bar that's in a pool. Hey, I'm a dive bar.
A dive bar is something. I see. I'm not of that older world that you like. Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to the pile and maybe afterwards I'll go to the
if I called my dad, he'd know. He'd be like, "What are y'all talking about?"
What do we call it? A dive?
Dive bar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, let's dive back in, make a splash with our leak in our house.
Yes.
So washer 1, dryer 2, meaning 1.
We ended up getting
a second.
You were over it.
I was so over it.
At this point, we're at the point where you are done with Lowe's.
Done.
So you said, but whatever. Done. Yeah, you were done. So you were just like, I went and got new washer and dryer, and I'm like.
But before that, they kept calling me every day after I told them to bring me a new pair. And they would call me. I'm not kidding. This is no joke.
That's just good business. I'd blow your phone up too if you're trying to take your money back.
They would call me at 6:30 a.m.
Oh, no.
To tell me we're on our way with another one.
No.
So they finally show up. He's got a washer in my bedroom. And I'm like, where's the dryer? And he's like, well, I just brought a washer. And I said, well, if you don't have a dryer, I don't want anything at all.
Yeah.
So I said, be gone.
And I you know what I think he said? Okay, I'll fix you.
Yeah. That was probably the first the last mistake.
That
the first
was-
and the last.
That was the first and yeah.
So they leave with now 3 items. And I think that very same day I said, I got to go to Home Depot. We had the highs, the lows. Now we're going to Home Depot. I'm ordering my washer and dryer again. Still no refund on the first one. Well, anyways.
You know what, though? I'm pretty proud of you because when we visited Home Depot after that and I went over to the washer and dryer area, I was like, okay.
I got the one.
You got the one. And there's so many. I don't do well with a bunch of options. That's why I go crazy at the nail salon. But anyways,
yeah,
you picked 2 good ones.
Sometimes just there is too many options.
Doesn't it run you crazy?
Peanut butter, cereals, milk. There's a whole wall of milks now.
Yeah.
And then there's another wall with non-milk milk.
Well, and you know what? In the Midwest, which is different from California, you guys have like cotton candy milk and mint milk and this kind of milk. And I'm like, what?
Where am I?
First of all, how?
I'm not in Kansas. I am in Kansas.
I am in Kansas.
It's the reverse.
Or is it like, what would be the reverse of that?
Well, LA.
I'm like not in LA anymore. Right?
That sounded straight out of like
I'm like totally not
Hillary
in LA
Duff or something
anymore. But yeah, you guys have and I thought I only ever saw that at your cousin's wedding, and I thought that was so dope. They had like a milk bar.
That you just pulled that out of your memory bank. The milks.
Well, I'm saying it because
so
I've never seen different types of milk like
but
that. Chocolate was
that was
it.
a deep cut though.
What?
Appreciated that.
The wedding.
The reference was just out of the blue. I don't know how you came up with that.
Well, because in my life, that's the only time I've ever seen different.
It was out of the blue, like
not
some
me
blue
about to
milk
say
from
chocolate
Star
and
Wars.
vanilla. That's all I know.
Right.
There's no vanilla, but I'm just saying. Yeah, you guys have a lot of different little milks.
Let's beep 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 the truck back to Lowe's and Home Depot.
I think you're at Home Depot at this point.
So ordered. Now I'm $4,000 deep, and still no washer and dryer.
And mind you, I am so ready to wash
I'm riding
clothes.
horseback to our old house.
I am so ready to wash clothes.
I
At
thought
this
you were
point.
actually crying.
No, I'm laughing at you. It makes me tear up. But I'm trying to tell them, like, I'm at the point where I really just want to do one load.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive 25 minutes.
Are you crying?
No. When I laugh like too much or yawn,
Like,
I'll,
man, this really struck a chord.
and it's, I don't know, what, 12 o'clock at night?
yeah.
So
We are going to talk soon about honing in on this podcast because we got to reel it in.
we do.
And get things back in order.
We do.
Our house in disarray.
Yeah.
We're back. We
Yeah.
are back, baby. So
We better do it before the baby, too.
Lowe's, you didn't put the hose, the knob, the cap, rather, back on our washer.
Yeah.
So for about 3 weeks, every time I would, hey, honey, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
And I would pull up the garage to walk out. I would have to jump over a puddle.
You thought it was rainwater at first?
Initially, I thought, okay, it's been raining a lot. Somehow, maybe it's getting through the garage. And then I was like, okay, I'm looking up at the ceiling. It's not coming from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Is it coming through the garage floor? That would be a disaster. Fast forward about 10 hours after I get off work and I get back, finally able to investigate. It is coming from the ceiling down the walls. I'll put some photos up. This was like a whodunit. It was the candlestick, the candle. It was Professor Plum with the candlestick.
Yep.
In the garage.
I just felt so bad for you because we were at that point where it was something daily. And I said in my head back the issue right before that, I said, he can't handle anything else.
I cannot handle the truth.
And the next thing you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I wanted to just go hide. I'm like,
every 10-hour day of work, I would get home. There was another 10 hours work.
Mm-hmm. And I think some of the issues, I think the way I bring it up to you makes you even more upset.
Yeah. Well, how do you bring it up?
I'm always like, come here, I want to show you something. Does that look wet?
Has there always been a hole in the floor?
I don't know how to bring it up.
Has this door to the bathroom always never opened?
I always bring it up in the word. I'm trying to. There's no easy way to tell you there's something else for you to fix.
You've got your apron on. You're cooking dinner.
I was like, is it normal that
Yeah.
there's a giant hole in the front door?
Has there always been a raccoon in the attic? I don't remember that.
I don't know. How would you like me to present it to you? It's bad news no matter what.
Have we? Oh, has there always been a draft over here? Well, there's no window.
Right.
Okay.
And you're like,
man.
what happened? And nobody can give you an answer. And it's just, I felt so bad for you.
It is late. I'm trying to even keep straight where we're at. So
Water in
the water is going through not just the ceiling, because I know my geometry is not perfect, but the puddle is not matching where the stain is on the ceiling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
It is traveling through the ceiling, down the wall, and then through the wall, across the floor, and puddling in the middle of the garage. I'm like, oh my golly. So I was excited for this, and I couldn't wait to just clean it up every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know where to begin. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just the roof. Maybe it's been raining. So I'm throwing towels at it. And
Towels that we can't wash because there's no washer and dryer.
No dryer.
No dryer.
So yeah, I'm going to work throwing dry towels on the ground. I'm coming back and they're just slopping wet towels.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes on for about 2 weeks. Well, comes to find out when Home Depot delivers our washer and dryer, perfect condition, 5-star review for Home Depot. They're like, oh, well.
No, at first we have to tell how they brought everything in. Great guys, right?
Okay.
But there was
I was at work for this.
There was so the first people, there was a language barrier. This one was like a
oh no
tone.
Because I wasn't here.
Oh, they were like, watch your head, cuz. I was just like, oh. But I had them call you because I said, he was like, you know, like once we like hook this up, the thing, you know, it's finna be fixed.
Then we out.
I was like,
we're out.
Yeah, then we finna go, then we out. And I'm like, what? He was like, call your husband, I'll tell him. So I'm thinking, if I don't understand them, you're definitely not gonna understand who's on the phone.
I answer speaking in our goofy voice. Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, honey, how's it going at the house there? How's the install?
You got a couple screws loose?
Yeah. Did you understand him when I put him on the phone?
I distinctly remember the first thing out of his voice was, what's up, Pops? Or no, not Pops. What's up, boss? Call me boss. I guess I was at work. So
yes.
for all he knew, I was
They were
the
so
boss.
sweet though, but
Nice
they were
dude.
just like, they were like, don't let anybody hustle you.
Different than the first people.
Yeah.
So anyways, great guys. And so anyways, they tell us, bro, you just didn't put the cap on. So we had basically just a water fountain.
Free flowing water.
Yeah,
Just a little
racking up the water bill. No big deal.
little infinity garden water just flowing. Just right through the walls.
Exactly. And so at this point, I also had a plumber coming within an hour. And I was like,
So I told them, I said, hey, my husband said, just plug it in, but don't like turn it on too long.
Plug it in. Plug it in.
What is
Remember
that
that
from?
commercial?
That commercial? Yes.
I think it was a
wow, I was young when that
That was a deep cut. I think that was an air freshener that you would plug in.
Speaking of air fresheners, have you guys done the trick? There's a trick at when you go to Walmart or wherever you get those little spray air fresheners. If you take your backlight, you guys are going to be shocked. The hustle. Put your backlight behind the air freshener, those Febreze ones.
Yeah.
There's like this much in it.
Really?
You know those tall ones where it's like that mist?
I wonder, could there perhaps be like a science behind it though? Like if it's full, it'll implode when you
But
use it?
this much?
Yeah.
Give me this.
That's pretty sad.
Like I can understand if like there's just a little bit at the top, whatever.
or at
so
least make the bottle
So they play
smaller
with
then.
your mind. You know how you use those Febreze ones and you're like, I must be using this a lot. Like I'm overdoing it. You know, you
They
get
do have those real short, stout ones as well.
Yeah.
That you throw under the the bathroom cupboard.
The ones that I've been getting.
Mm-hmm. I think that's more concentrated, maybe.
Those are actually supposed to be in that machine. That
Oh, really? We didn't plug it in. Plug it in.
I didn't plug it in. Plug it in.
That's so.
But
funny.
I got those because,
It seems stronger to me.
Poop smells, and it gets it right away.
Straight to the point. So
Imagine there's a line outside. You're like, we have guests. You want them to feel comfortable.
But how often is there a line at your,
Well,
your home bathroom?
With you and your open door policy.
True. Very true. And with our appliance delivery
how many
people coming in. So anyways, boy. So yeah.
We had a leak.
I had a plumber coming, and so I call him. I'm like, dude, I don't know what's up or down. Go ahead and just come over anyways. I don't mind just giving you money.
Right.
What's another $100 at this point?
He was another very nice guy.
Extremely. So I FaceTimed him, and great guy. Mm-hmm. Great guy. You told me he was like measuring with his feet.
Yeah.
Like one step.
1, 2.
Like,
yeah, he was doing it like that. And I
up
was
the
like,
walls too, like this.
Mm-hmm. He even started to...
Like that Even Stevens episode, he's on the ceiling with like magnetic shoes.
So I did appreciate him coming because you don't want to take just one random person who's installing,
Right.
Opinion.
We've already made one mistake with.
Right. So I was like,
let's get a profesh.
Let's get
an
a
actual
little
plumber.
Right.
Not a guy who delivers things.
Not the homeboy that just dropped.
Not the Home Depot boy.
And you know what's funny? He was like, trust me, once I plug it in, you're not going to have any leaking. And I was like,
he was right.
He was right.
He was right.
He was right. But yeah, he was measuring with his feet. And I was just amazed.
The weird
I was
part
just following him.
He took his shoes and socks off. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, did he?
No.
He had a contraption over his shoe, though.
What would you have done if he was like, all right, I need absolute silence.
Yeah, just.
And you're like, wait, what?
And he starts like doing a whole ritual.
He takes his shoes and socks off. I need all the lights off too.
Yes.
Do you have a candle around?
Yes.
And actually, not a candle. I just need a lighter or what do you call
match?
those? A match. I was like, what do we call those?
I'm like, you are sleepy.
Do you have any matches?
And I'm just like,
he's just walking around like, where is the water?
Come to me, water. I would have called you right away. Like, how much did you pay? Because I'm about to call the police. This man is having a breakdown in the living room.
He's just like, oh, you called him? Oh no.
How much? No, honestly, he was so great, and
the vibe I got from him was he was a dad for sure. Just kind of like,
he gave
honey,
dad vibes.
I do a lot of plumbing at the house. Mm-hmm. Why don't I just start my own little business?
Yeah. Yeah.
You seem like such a nice guy.
Such a nice guy. But what he did was he was like, after he did all his counting with his feet, he went up the stairs. He's like, okay, if the problem is what that person said, it's going to have to be in this wall. He's like, so where is your...
He touches the wall and his arm just goes through it.
Like, great.
Oh,
now
great.
we
Let's
have
just put a for sale
now
sign
we
up.
have a dead body in the house. And he was, it was right where he said it was. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, because you needed a break at that point.
Yeah, I needed... Yeah, at that point, I should have... Of all the people, I should have tipped them.
You know what I told them all. I said, if I had cash, I would give it to you. Oh, it's all right, Shotty. You did it. I was like, okay, go.
That was Home Depot, right? That wasn't Justin.
That was Home Depot for sure.
Homie Depot.
That was my homie from
Homie
the
Depot.
That was my Homie Depot, y'all. But yeah, they were great for sure.
So that was highs and lows and Home Depots.
Wait, let's not forget. Sorry, you offered them food, and they were giving.
That was the couch delivery people.
Okay, so
we've just had so many different people coming in and out. You're cross-referencing.
We had couches delivered. You offered a snack, and they went for it.
They went for it.
Yeah, he had like 4 brown. Okay, let me.
Speaking of snacks, we have met our neighbors. Well, I've met them several times, but officially,
yes.
Gifts were brought forth, and we had a little ceremony. Every time I am out doing any sort of production to the yard, I'm knees deep, just dripping with sweat. I finally have 40 minutes to get to the outside world. And my wonderful neighbors, which I do like them. If for some weird somehow way they're listening, we do like you.
We like you.
If I'm in my first 2 months,
just give us another week
of living here, let me get to my tasks. Send me an email.
Because by the time you get home, the sun is like, so long, farewell.
Yeah. I bit off a little more than I can chew. Well, anyways, every time I'm raking, sweeping, mowing, mulching, rock, anything, when I was carrying a 77-inch OLED TV
heavy rocks
out of the truck bed,
right.
Bob is over here. Hey, you want to talk? Like, what?
Yeah.
So I'm doing mulch work. And by the way, for all you who are out there trying to get mulch, you will need 10 times more than what you expect.
Think, yes.
And then multiply that by another 7. And you'll have half of what you need.
And you'll only be halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on my 9th trip to Home Depot to get mulch,
your 9th trip.
Yeah. I need to go again, actually, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
No.
It's on my to-do list to get 4 more bags.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Very serious.
We bought so much.
Very serious.
We've bought so much. You can't just spread it out.
At this point, I have hit on the price tag. It said like $4, or if you buy over 50, they're $2. And I was like, who's ever
buying 50?
Buying 50
You.
on 20 trips of 20? I could have just got them discounted.
Shocked. You can't just spread and keep it moving.
You can, but there's only so much to spread.
Speaking of neighbors, should I say this is a really quick sidebar, because you're not at home, and I think they think that I'm not at home. When they're walking their dogs and they're letting their dog come all the way, let that leash really give a go.
Yes.
Should I open the door and be like, oh, can you actually not?
Yeah.
Should I say something?
So we have a suspect. We suspect.
Yes.
Well, obviously happened. There was dog poop, like very far from the curb,
like
basically at our front door.
It's pretty much at the front door.
Yeah. Not exaggerating. It was about a hop, skip, and a little twinkle toe.
So you weren't there, and when I came out, I was like, "We have a nightmare neighbor," and I was like, "Seriously?" I thought
I couldn't believe it.
I said,
I'm still chalking it up to a runaway goose, but somehow, some way, a dog went about 60 feet up into our house. Basically, you might as well just open the front door.
It should have just been right there at the front door.
Maybe it was smelling the previous dog in our home.
I'm sure, because I can smell
get a little
it.
whiff of it.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we got to get down to the bottom of that. Well, anyways, I keep saying that. Danny.
I'm not good with names.
I wrote it down. Danny and Jennifer.
Is that here?
Over with brownies. They brought us brownies and cookies. Danny made them.
Delicious.
Delicioso. Incredible.
Okay.
I stood there and ate many of them while we were talking.
I had a bunch. And you know what's crazy? He's like, yeah, I can't eat any of them. I'm not diabetic. I'm like, so how do you know if they taste good or not? So I was nervous.
He hands them over to his wife. Yeah. So it was just cool. You know, it's been a while, a very long time, especially since our last spot. Nobody was coming over giving us, they would have been different types of brownies.
Okay. So. Only take half. For those of you people who know.
So, yeah, such nice people. But by golly, let me do some yard work.
But honestly, in their defense, like, what?
We're new.
No, well, if anybody has advice, because I want to know, because people keep coming to the door. What is something that we can say or do to be not rude, but be like, oh, hey, we're going to kind of get back to it? Because it's like, I don't know how to cut the conversation.
Maybe we just don't know how to be neighborly yet. We got to work into it. It is probably more of our fault. We need to take life slow. You know, just, hey, let me go get a couple pops, soda.
We can't because the neighborhood's so clean and neat. They want you to have that light. They want you to get it
Maybe
together.
there's some sort of conspiracy theory here. Maybe they're trying to distract me so much that I can't mow my lawn, and then they'll find me and distribute the earnings across the homes.
Because the HOA lady came to the door. Why does everybody come to the door when you're not here? And I have to deal with
I'm
them.
just never here. I'm at
No,
work.
babe, you're here. You're here.
That's true. Well, maybe I just need. I've got a 3-day weekend. I'm just gonna throw out a lawn chair, put a sign out that says,
"Come now or don't
come out,
Now's
come
the
over.
time.
Now is the time." Well, yeah. So we've been having a good time, honestly. Moving in, unpacking, and all that. Well, we had another issue, and this one had 4 legs, and it crawled into the garage as I was. Again, this is 1 a.m. type business. I'm carrying boxes in from the other house. I think it was my last trip. I'm unpacking. It is 2:37 a.m.
Right.
The sweat is just when it's coming out of like
I don't have that.
The armpit of your leg. That is
is
when you are sweating a lot, and it's so
the
uncomfortable.
back of the knee?
The back of the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm carrying 80 objects,
Right.
I see at the corner of my eye a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's one thing that I hate, it is mice.
Was it
Mouse,
a definite like, oh, that's a mouse, or was it like,
yes.
was that what I saw?
No,
It was
I knew
definite.
instantly.
That's your
And
one thing, though. Just like how I am with insects and bugs, your one thing is mice.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else that I'm kind of like scared of. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, you'll go take a bug, just your hand, and
I'll
take
grab
it out.
it and
He's
toss it outside.
Insane. I will not.
I'll just stomp it out with my bare foot.
Yeah, I don't do well with bugs.
I hate.
You don't like ratatouille?
I hate mice. Any type of rodent, absolute terror. I cannot stand
Sends
it.
chills down your spine.
It does. It genuinely does.
What about
I
it?
hate it. They're gross. They're just everything about them.
The
I don't know how
tail.
to. It's indescribable. The towel. The towel. The tail. See, I can't even speak. They're got me all goosebumps over here. And they're just so you can't catch them. They're so little, but you can't catch
They're
them.
fast.
So instantly, I go into attack mode, and I'm like, oh, I'm probably flying some 4s like I shouldn't, and I'm just like, oh no, I need some help, babe.
Let's go on the record. Stacy, he did not fly any 4s.
I said poop.
Yeah,
So-
he really didn't. So
I'm like, babe, please come here. I need help.
can you believe he asked me to get?
I can't do it. So I think some of it too is if you've ever seen Indiana Jones, he's scared of snakes. And that is basically how I can describe my fear of mouse, mice, rodents, everything with
Was
4
there
legs.
one like traumatic event in your life where it just sent
yes. When I lived in California, I was down. I was down in the dumps, literally. There was a short portion of my life I was homeless. I was bouncing around from couches, futons, croutons, and everything in between. And air mattresses, futons, floors, vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was sleeping. Well, I was living in Pomona for a short time. Loved it. But when you're sleeping on an air mattress with Cinderella blankets as your only defense,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear what I hope is mice, if it's rats, I probably
Aren't they
move.
both pretty much cousins?
To me, rats just they seem like they're in a different
bigger,
tier
right? They're
of
bigger.
disgust.
They're bigger.
And I am sleeping there, and I just hear what sounds like 8 different mice very close to me.
What?
Very close.
Openly or in the wall?
They had to have been open because the homeowner that I was living with, Robert, he had a dog, a pit bull, but the nicest dog you'd ever meet in your life. Very deceiving.
Pit bulls, yeah, they could be nice for a while, but it's in them.
But that dog would just eat those mice, take them out back, and there would just be dead mice in the back. So I was sleeping
What?
very near mice. at all times, and I didn't know it until almost my last night, and it traumatized me even more to this day.
They probably were crawling on you.
Oh, and also there was another time I used to volunteer at a homeless shelter, and in one of the rooms you would stay, these were rats, very, very big, very loud, and so I would then just keep my feet up.
Why were you sleeping there?
At all time. I was volunteering. I was helping.
You couldn't come in the day and do your thing and then leave and come back?
No. It gives me goosebumps.
And you saw them running?
Hate rats.
You can visibly.
Yes, I hate them.
No.
Well, so yes. Look at me now. I'm having my wife kill them in a garage.
I meant to say you have a home now.
Take a look at me now.
Take a look at you now.
So the very next moment, I dropped everything.
The way you jumped.
Oh, I hit that thing with a broom and it went flying into the other room, and I just took off.
I was proud of you in the beginning because you were.
Give me a broom and I can maybe.
You were trying.
So next day I'm going to Home Depot. At this point, I know every employee at Home Depot by name, and so I've been there so much though I still don't know where anything is in that store. Mm-hmm. I buy $200 worth of rat and mouse supplies. This mouse.
Well, you called my dad.
Yeah.
What should I do? He started laughing at you at first. That man is crazy.
It was a good time talking to him.
He felt crazy.
It's wabbit season. So this mouse had no clue what was coming. I had $200 worth of reinforcements.
Do you feel it was a bit overkill how much you got?
You can never overkill a mouse.
I thought you had
I've got leftovers.
5 too many traps.
Yeah. So I had rat traps, mouse traps, rat pellets. I had cheese. I had sticky traps. I had everything you could imagine. And I'm just, at this point, I'm probably attracting them with how much I had. That was another thing I was thinking was like, do I just leave it? Because what if I'm attracting them with what I'm putting out?
Well, you put out probably, a is it charcuterie board? Yeah. You put a charcuterie board of cheeses out.
I did.
You gave them different flavors and options.
Provolone. Four cheese, feta,
brie.
blue. I'm giving them the deja blues.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't think it's enough cheese, honey?
I'm giving them the cheese spins.
And you had it all fancy?
Mm-hmm. Little pretzels as well. So he couldn't resist. A few hours in, I had myself a mouse.
You had yourself a mouse?
Yeah.
Huh.
We had ourselves a mouse. I'm not going to go into the details, but man, it's kind of sad seeing it kind of moving a little bit on that thing.
I know. It seemed like a little baby bear.
Mm-hmm. Kind of sad.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
So you would prefer to go out and the neck was snapped? That would have been a little easier for you?
I think I'd just prefer
it's like out.
Just don't come into my home. So anyways, at that point, I said, dear, this is where you step in, and you rescued me and threw away the mouse.
I threw away the mouse, you guys. Isn't
Man.
that crazy?
Ugh. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You were never so manly in that moment for me.
No. So
I'm huddling over there with this belly. Y'all got to picture this.
Mm-hmm.
I put a big glove on and throw away this mouse. So.
Yep. So that was that. And hopefully never, ever again. But between our last episode and this episode, you went to L.A.
I went to L.A., you guys.
And I have not really heard a whole lot about this because we do talk a lot, but there's very many things that we're like, you know what? Let's just save that for the podcast. I want natural, authentic, organic reactions.
Yes.
On the podcast.
Okay.
So I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, me and the kids, we went to LA, very last minute trip. Like I said on the last 2 podcasts, we've had some family members pass away. So it was very last minute. We're going there to be with family and support. And selfishly, I wanted a break from cooking and cleaning.
Oh, I thought you were going to say from me, huh?
No, baby, not from you.
I thought you were going to say take a break from causing some sort of leaks, broken door. The door.
The door was my fault.
Should we bring that up?
I locked the door because the way those locks are, did you notice they're backwards?
Are they?
Yeah. Usually when you lock a door, you twist it so it's like this. It locks like this. So I was learning.
Okay. Well, I think I texted you and I was just like, got the key, fixed it. Let's not do that again.
And then you said, took me an hour. Opened it. I was like, okay. Thanks.
You know, some things, details matter.
I went to 3 different places looking for the key. I tried.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I went to Home Depot for the 30th time to get that key.
You might as well just get an application at this point.
They have to have some sort of, you know what? Maybe I'm on to something. Home Depot, I'm copywriting this. You should have some sort of new home buyer subscription service where they just know when you move into a new house,
you're gonna
every week we're going to send you supplies that you will need.
And if you don't, send it back. But
week 1, we're giving you buckets
to
catch the leaks.
Yep.
Week 2, we're going to give you a rat poison.
Rat traps.
Week 3, we're giving you some rabbit feed.
Cheese is on you. You got to get your own cheese.
Yep.
But, you know.
It's Home Depot. We don't have cheese. Week 4, we're giving you some roof repair.
Or like how to get rid of mushrooms.
Yep. Yeah. In our backyard. Beautiful home. Everything about it is great. It looks like we have
Nintendo World. Yeah.
Mario and Luigi are. Yeah. I saw them hopping on the mushrooms and growing.
We have and they're huge mushrooms. If anybody knows how to get rid of or prevent that, because I don't want to touch it. I feel like it's super poisonous.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe we just. I mean, we're out here in Kansas. Maybe we just scoop them up, deep fry them, and put some ketchup on them. Lather them in some ketchup. All right. Tell me about LA.
Went to LA. It's always different going back there when I've been here for so long because, everybody wants to catch up and the kids start acting different. And I don't know, it's just so different when you go there. It was good to see my dad, and my dad heated the pool.
Mm-hmm. I really miss it out there. I've missed out on the last couple of trips.
Yeah, they really miss you.
Just miscellaneous work and stuff like that, moving and all that.
I do think we should get a hotel.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, yeah, especially with baby, probably would. Well, I don't know.
No, leave the kids.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. As it came out, I was like,
we could hit a Disney, Universal. No. Yeah, actually, no. So, my dad doesn't understand. It's 80 degrees in LA. Mm-hmm. It can hit 90. Why is the pool 90?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, why is the house?
That's 90 too.
90
as well.
You already knew I was
because I know you. I know how you get down, and no. It's 90 as well in the house. I thought I was going to jump into like a nice cool pool. 90. Mm. So Dad,
he does. Is it cold-blooded?
I think he's cold all the time. He's like me though. Yeah, I can remember.
I love your family.
Whenever somebody starts with a compliment, they're about to hit you with it.
Boy, no.
So what's up?
Well, also too, I have issues with circulation.
You're hot all the time.
I'm always hot, but extremities are ice cold. Mm-hmm. Well, within moments, I can go from cool to just downpour sweat. Mm-hmm. Especially I think sometimes too when it comes to like meeting new people and like not nervous, but you're just a little bit more like on edge.
Yeah,
it's like
so it like adds.
It's like the first day of school, it's like a little bit of stress.
Yeah.
Boy.
They keep it hot.
Your dad keeps it hot. Mm-hmm. And I can still remember there was quite a few times, we're early on getting to know each other and you kind of across the room like, do you want me to
You're like
I'm sitting in the chair like this, like trying to not let
because your whole back is wet.
My back is just soaked, and I'm trying not to have my pits sweat, so the sweat just going all the way down my shirt.
You poor thing.
But anyways, we've made some rounds on. I would just periodically like, I got to take a phone call. I'm gonna pop outside.
You're outside.
It's like, oh.
The thing about it is nobody else is cold in the house but him.
Really?
My mom's hot. Erica, them, they're like, this is too much. But you know,
it also. I think there was a time or two where it was kind of like the escape. It was like my butt sweat and back, for sure, is visible.
I've never sweated.
So it's just
I've never in my life.
Hey, look at the game on the TV, and I'm just out. All right, catch you guys later.
I've never sweated like that before.
I can sweat.
Really?
Yes. And something about my circulation, the only way to cool down is to like, I have to be in a cooled environment for a legitimate.
But you never like smell, so to sweat that much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. Anyways, so LA was great.
Now that the world knows my sweat habits.
Not that everybody knows that you're a pig.
but not a smelly one.
Not a smelly one. So LA was great. It was good, but it was sad. You know, people have passed away. So, you know, just being there and not having to cook or do anything. You know, my mom just takes over and you wake up and there's grits and biscuits and bacon. And
I was going to ask you, what was the first and last? I don't want the in-betweens. I want the first and last meal that you got out, because those are probably the most valuable ones.
My mom's breakfast was like...
No. That you went out and got.
Oh, Mendocino Farms.
Mendocino, okay.
I didn't make it to California Chicken Cafe.
No way.
I know.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. That's actually shocking.
I know.
We'll get it 3 times even if we're only there for 2 days.
I know. I didn't go because
there has to be an actual
everybody was using cars. I didn't want to like bother people.
To Uber Eats that thing.
$50 for a lettuce wrap.
Yeah, that's actually
there's no way.
An abomination against humanity.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't get a chance to eat all my little California bites in this. I did get to visit my best friend who's giving birth right now.
Yeah. She's probably texting you.
It's crazy. Like, she's giving birth right now, like as we're speaking. I got to see her before the baby comes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got to do a couple little visits, but there was fine. Coming back was tragic.
Mm-hmm. You missed me so much.
Sure. No. Not coming back to you was tragic. The flight back. Everybody knows I'm a weird flyer. You guys know this.
I've been waiting for this story, y'all.
Okay.
Because every time I'm kind of like the guy with the pipe. I'm like, podcast.
Just wait. I'm like, you sure? So it started off rough. I'm the type of person that gets car sick. Okay. No matter what. Long trips.
Except with me. I feel like you've never.
I've gotten better.
Okay.
You drive well.
I glide well.
For the type of car you have.
Nathaniel drive well.
So I ordered a Uber, Lyft, whatever, and Tesla shows up. So I was like, okay, fancy to the airport.
Little full self-drive mode.
Big mistake. Big mistake. I'm sitting in the car and I notice he has a sign there. And I think it said something along the lines of, electric cars can give you motion sickness, just giving you a heads up. And I'm like, what? I never knew that.
I've never heard of that.
He was stopping every 2 seconds.
I think it should have just said, hey, FYI, I don't know how to drive.
I don't know how to drive this car.
So I've been known to get people sick.
On the open freeway, just...
So if it was a Tesla, it has regenerative... Let me put my nerd glasses on, my nerd goggles on for a moment. It does have regenerative braking, which is very much like a golf cart. But when you drive a golf cart, you're not getting sick. You just have to, okay, when I let off, it slows. Okay, give me 5 minutes. All right, got it.
So knowing that, was he hitting the brake? Because it felt very abrupt.
If it's very abrupt, he's hitting the brake most likely.
On the freeway, just the whole way was this. So now I'm pregnant. I'm getting nauseous before I even get to the airport. Mm-hmm. And it's a decent drive. There's traffic. It's LA, whatever. There's a lot of riots going on right now. So it just made everything like really trafficky. Mm-hmm. And then when it was flowing, it still felt whatever. I get to the airport completely nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm in my head because, you know, I'm like a crazy flyer. I'm like, I'm looking crazy. They're going to think I have something in my bag.
You're already throwing up.
I already look like I'm going to puke, like I'm hiding something. I'm in trouble, you know. So I get to...
Yeah, most people don't have barf bags before they get on the plane.
Come. What's in the bag? It's like... So, yeah, I get to the airport a little bit too early. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Coffee Bean. I haven't had it. It's only in LA. I'm excited. Oh, we're so sorry. Like, it's cash only.
What?
I said, what? Yeah, like our like card things down.
Oh,
at
least, let me zell you.
It's the one thing I wanted, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. What's up?
Well, they might as well just close the shop. Who out there is carrying raggedy old
That's what I said.
cash?
I said I could have cried right there.
Wow.
So I didn't get, you know, they don't have it out here, and I really wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we're not going to LA for a long time.
At that point, I feel like you could have turned to anybody around you and said, I will Venmo someone $8.
In LA?
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's an airport, though. Maybe you're catching some non-LAers.
Midwest, yeah. LA, they're like, girl, I don't know you.
If it would have been the Midwest, they would be like, well, you know what?
Honey, let me just
I'm
get
gonna
it for
just
you.
give it to you. I'm gonna put it on your tab. You come back next week and we'll
And make a funny little joke and keep going.
Actually,
See, sweet people.
Do you got some? I see you got a bag there. You got anything in there we can just trade?
It's like, listen, this chocolate croissant's not that serious, Bob. But yeah. So that was already tragic. Finally, you know, whatever. Got a little meal. Did all that. This flight, it sucks because it was one of the smoothest flights I've ever been on.
Give and take.
Barely a budge. Okay. The child. No. Let's start with me first walking on.
Okay.
Everybody's giving me the, hope she's not sitting next to me, because you already know I need your help putting this bag up.
Oh.
I have this belly, like I need the help.
Belly, ellie, ellie.
Belly, ellie, ellie. Really quick sidebar. On the trip there, I asked this guy, hey, do you mind like helping me put my bag up? And he was like, and he kind of sat, and somebody jumped up like, I'll help you. Let's just
Midwest.
grown man.
They were going to Kansas probably.
We were in Kansas. Anyways, worst passenger in front of me, this little kid. I want to say she was 2 or 3.
Ugh.
Before I can even go sit in my seat, I see 2 women sitting in my row. When you see people that are, you know, your race, you're like, okay, like I'm about to sit next to my people. We're going to have a conversation.
That's exactly what I do.
Is that what you do? You walk on the plane like, that's what's up.
What's up, homie?
Stupid. They first requested, are you going to need, because I had the window, are you going to need to be going to the bathroom a lot? Because I see that you're pregnant. So is this going to be a thing where you need to get up all the time to go to the bathroom? I was like, are we about to fight?
I can only assume what airline you were on.
Listen, last minute flight.
United? Come on.
Shut up. You know it was Spirit. Listen, it was last minute, guys.
The blue bus in the sky.
Listen, we were in
Delta.
What was it? We were on the Magic School Bus. Okay.
Miss Frizzle, you sat next to.
and
Miss Frizzle, what a name.
Right? So I sit next to this lady and her mom. Her mom's about, I want to say, 100 years old. Mm-hmm. So they're asking, are we going to have to, because I have to get her up for you to go to the bathroom. And why are you starting with the tone? What's the attitude? Then she requests, can you wear a mask? Because you're in our row. What? She requested for me to wear a mask. And I said, how am I going to handle this? Because I already told her, no, it's a 2-hour flight. I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I just went. Mind you, of course, as soon as I sit down, I need to go to the bathroom. But I held it. I was like, I am not even going to deal with this lady right now.
I'm glad I wasn't there this time.
Oh, you would have hated it. This was bad. This was bad. Okay. Oh, could you wear a mask because what? What? She's any day now. There's nothing I'm going to give her that's going to make this any worse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gotcha. She's 100.
You're right.
She's a hundo.
I wore the mask.
Really? I didn't know that.
I wore it. Could barely breathe the
Did
whole
they?
time. Yes. So
I
we
thought
look
it was
like three idiots.
Imagine you need to wear a mask, and then they don't. They're just like, you also need to wear this hat,
Right?
and put on this clown nose too.
Yeah.
Can you get up and dance?
I couldn't believe I wore it. I'm such a people pleaser. What is wrong with me?
Oh,
I was just so tired and I didn't want the confrontation. I wore the mask. So we look like three idiots in the row.
Mm-hmm.
As if the flight couldn't get any worse. The child in front of me was going.
Was the child affiliated with them?
No.
Oh.
So mind you, this kid keeps swinging their hands back to hit me.
Yeah, and I thought, because I love you.
You thought I was lying?
No, but you have a way of exaggerating things, especially on flights.
What?
On flights. All right.
I was like,
It'll be like the smallest bump, and you'll be like, that was the roughest flight I've ever been on in my life.
well,
and
I'm
like,
scared. So
we
yeah.
haven't even moved yet.
But to me, I'm dying and we're falling out of the sky.
Yeah. When she was telling me these stories, I was like, come on. It can't have been like that.
Come on.
Come on. She shows me this video, and it is as if you're at a petting zoo.
Several videos, because I said, you know what I said in my head? I said, he's not going to believe this. And they're not going to believe it. So I have to catch this on video.
There was two things that come to mind. One is a petting zoo, and don't get near the bars, just kind of toss the food.
Mm-hmm.
Or did you ever ride Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride?
Yeah.
When they have the jail sails.
Oh, and they're trying to
The
get
jail sails. And they're putting their hands
they're like,
through.
Yeah.
It was as if this girl, 2-year-old, was in a jail, and she was trying to like claw her way out.
She was making contact. She was hitting me.
Yeah.
So she's swinging. Her dad's like,
yeah, you were about to be swinging.
I was so close. I had to just pray because you two are bothering me, and now little mama's bothering me. She's only with her dad. He has no control. I'm by the window, so picture me by the window. The two women here who are complaining, are you going to have to go to the bathroom? We see you're pregnant. She's in the seat right in front of me, and her dad's in the middle.
That's when you hit him with the, I'm not pregnant.
I've been waiting to do that. I keep making a mistake. I keep telling people, oh, yes. So he keeps saying, keep your hands to yourself, Elizabeth. Keep your hands to yourself. This gentle parenting. I wanted to tell him, do you want me to get her? Because we can shut this all down.
He had already given up.
He was so
2 years into her life. He is done.
He's so through.
It was like that. We were watching that pregnancy video. You're doing so good, so good. He was like the reverse of that.
I have him watching these birth videos to show him what I don't want him to do. Yeah. In the delivery room.
This video. Well, so getting back though, it was like that guy was the reverse of just like, you're doing so good.
Keep your hands to yourself.
So good.
And she's screaming. Mind you, she's crying the whole time. And she's hitting and hitting. Then I noticed down in my bag, I see her little hand and she's digging for my purse. I had to slide my purse with my feet closer to me because she's digging to my purse.
Was it a full flight?
Full-ish. Like the person that was sitting next to him opted to sit somewhere else.
I feel like you at some point you probably could have requested a movement.
But then I heard them charging people. No. I heard them. They're like, well, ma'am, if you would like to move a little bit up, it'll be $50.
All right, here. Oh,
what?
You're only taking cash? Great.
They charged me for my bag. I said, it's going on the same spot?
Yeah, the bag thing is interesting. There's a lot that goes into that we could talk about.
But anyways, this flight gets even worse. He goes to give her a bottle, and she opens it up, and it fully explodes up over the seat, all onto my
volcano
face,
eruption,
all onto my body.
At least it wasn't like boiling.
It
probably smelled though.
It's milk.
Ugh.
I don't know if it's formula. I don't know if it's breast milk. I don't know if it's cow's milk.
It's cotton candy milk.
And mind you, the whole time this girl's acting up, these two are complaining. Audibly complaining. See, this is when they need to get snatched up. She's too old to be
help
doing
me out.
this. So they're doing, no, it's not helping him. He doesn't know what to do. He's gentle parenting. So I'm just sitting there stressed, like the baby's kicking, I'm contracting. I'm just like, this is the worst thing I've ever experienced. I couldn't believe this flight. I could not believe this flight.
Yeah, I can say this. It's very easy to parent from a distance. It is very hard to, there is no perfect parenting.
No.
It is very hard. So maybe we just caught him on a bad day.
No, but there's the basics.
You're like, no.
No, she's physically hitting me. She's touching me at this point.
Ugh.
No, there's the basics, and then there's some stuff where it's like kids are just going to do stuff, and you're like,
right,
it's kind of out of your control. But the basics, keeping your hands to yourself.
Hands and feet to ourselves.
You're kicking the seat, like full on tantrums and all that. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
You would have hated it.
I had never seen anything like
you
that.
Would have. I got the video because I said he's not
The
going to believe.
hands coming out.
Did you see her?
Pirates of the Caribbean style. Yes. Captain Hook coming through.
Yes.
That was new to me.
I had to keep giving her toys. She kept throwing them back.
Yeah. Because also, too, with me, I don't know if it's just the stage I'm in life, especially with kids, I kind of just a little bit more like, yeah, like crazy things are going to happen. But that one, I was like, that is something new.
Keep your hands to yourself,
I've
Elizabeth.
not seen that before.
Ooh, she's so lucky.
You want to go back to LA? You want to get on a flight?
I love LA. I just don't like flying. So we can't go for a while because the baby's coming pretty soon.
That is wild.
Like in a blink. I won't. I was about to.
You're going to make me edit that out, and I don't want to.
I won't.
Well, we've done good, I think. You done good.
You done good.
Well, we appreciate you guys listening, tuning in, the ones that are subscribing and staying subscribed. We appreciate
it's a lot of energy to go back and unsubscribe.
Yeah, maybe they just bumped it. It was an accidental unsubscribe. Maybe they are that person that likes to put the last piece in the puzzle. They hid the piece and they want to be the last one to put it in. So they wanted to be number 90. So they said, you know what? They're at 89.
That's a good way to think of it.
I'm going to unsubscribe. When they get to 89, I'm going to instantly subscribe and I'll be
that's
number
a good
90.
way to. You know what? If that helps you sleep at night.
It does. It comforts me.
I just noticed I have a Dunkin' over here and I shouldn't. What's your Dunkin' order?
Oh, I was like, is it in the room?
Is it in the room with us?
You know my order.
I know. I want the whole world to know.
My order is a large iced coffee, no cream, no sugar, 6 pumps of caramel, cream on the side.
But you still get the cream. So what's
the issue is?
Just say I want 6 creams.
So when you get a hole in the wall coffee shop, the great thing about them is precision. Every single time you get it, it is going to taste exactly the same.
Yeah, just straight garbage.
When you get it from a big box store, you know, your Dunkies, your Dutchies, your Starbies, all of the E's, the whole E's family. It just depends on how that mood is for that barista. You could have a full thing of ice. You could have a full thing of just coffee. It could be reminiscent to just milk.
It is different each time.
It's all just eyeballs and splashes.
They like you at this place though. Every time I go, they ask about you.
So I tell them no cream, no sugar, because every time I say just, I figured out the gestures for the sauces. I haven't quite narrowed it down with how much cream I want to splash. Well, how big? You know, maybe it's a big boy. Maybe it's a big boy splash.
How many do you personally?
Is
put
it a
in
pencil
there?
dive? What kind of splash are we doing?
How many do you personally put in there? 6?
3 of the to go. I have to say, give me 3 to go.
Just tell them 3. Put 3 in.
No, because I think they're.
Oh, like
it's a machine. It's like an automated. So it's like you're at the water fountain. Like, you know, are they gonna press and they're talking to? You know, I got someone out the window. Oh no! And,
I guess you're right, because sometimes they give me my coffee and it's milk.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
like,
Yeah.
And then you don't want to be that person. So you just say no cream, no sugar. Give me some caramel. Put the cream on the side.
Okay.
Let me be the one that makes the mistake.
And there it is.
And there it is. And there goes another episode. We appreciate you all listening, watching. If you haven't subscribed and you're listening, that's weird. Just subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
We thank you, though. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Shout out JD. He left us a comment on Apple Podcast. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
We love you, JD.
Anybody that comments and 5-star rates us, we'll shout them out if you comment. If you don't comment and you just 5-star us, we have no way to trace that. So anyways, it's been fun. I've had a good time. I'm starting to sweat, so
All right,
these lights are really bright. So appreciate it, y'all.
All right, bye.